Hey, what is up guys? Eric Thane here from Cinema Mastery and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about how to make your videos look ultra, super, cinematic, super duper fast. Let's go. Alright, so here's my top 3 tips for how to make your videos look super cinematic really fast. So tip number 1 is to buy the most expensive camera that you can possibly find. It doesn't matter whether it's a Red or a Sony or a Canon or a Blackmagic or even a Nikon. The brand doesn't matter at all. I just want you to find the most expensive camera you can get your hands on and use that camera every single time. Literally, when you go to the checkout page, whether you're renting it from a rental store or if you're actually buying it to use for yourself, when you go to the checkout page, make sure you look at the $ and the number that's sitting next to it, because we all know as filmmakers that the most expensive cameras are the ones that shoot the very best, most cinematic images. If you get a camera that has a lower price on it, then you're probably not going to get as cinematic of an image as if you bought a camera that has a high price on it. So ignore the dynamic range, ignore the pixel count, the resolution, all those other things that the marketers want you to believe are the things that you should be paying attention to when it comes to cameras, and just pay attention to the price, because the more expensive cameras are always going to be better than the cheaper cameras. The other thing about expensive cameras is not only will you get a more cinematic image, but your friends are also going to think that you're really cool because your camera is expensive, whereas if you're shooting on a cheap camera, they may not think you're as cool, and your clients probably won't want to work with you. And so by shooting on really expensive cameras, you can get more clients, you're going to build a bigger portfolio, your work is going to look more cinematic, and everything else is going to go better for you in your entire life. Tip number 2 is shoot in log always, and don't ever grade it. So if you've been in filmmaking for any amount of time by now, you know that the most important thing that is going to make your images look the most cinematic is by shooting in a super flat, super desaturated, no contrast picture profile that's going to really bring it that rich cinematic look. So if you're a filmmaker who wants to fit into the crowd and like really get noticed by other filmmakers and other people, then you have to shoot in log and then don't touch it in post. This way, by shooting something that's super flat, that's desaturated, that has no contrast to it, what you're going to do is you're going to be able to be eligible, first of all, for a Vimeo staff pick. Your friends are going to think that your work looks amazing, and clients are always going to want to hire you because you have this super cinematic flat look that is just going to look amazing. Now, when you take the footage into post, you got to make sure not to touch it at all, because that flat look is what everybody wants to see right now. And the moment you start color grading it or color correcting it and making it look proper, you're going to actually mess it up and ruin your chances at making something that actually looks ultra cinematic. And another tip while I'm at it, while you're shooting in log, make sure you're not monitoring the image also with a LUT on it. You want to make sure you're looking at it in log. That way you can make sure that you're getting the most loggy image that you possibly can, because that's what's going to make it look the best. And tip number 3 is, no matter what you do, make sure that you take your footage into post and you always slap a teal and orange LUT on it. Every filmmaker knows from watching Michael Bay films that teal and orange is the key to getting an ultra cinematic look. So you want to make sure that everything that you shoot always has that teal and orange look. And the fastest, quickest, easiest way to get a cinematic look without having to do anything else like learning filmmaking or becoming good at cinematography is to just get a good teal and orange LUT that you can put on the footage in post that will make it look cinematic. It used to be that filmmakers had to actually be good at editing and color grading and all those kind of things in cinematography in order to create really cinematic looking images. But now with the technology today of LUTs, you don't have to be actually good at any of that kind of stuff. And it's kind of a waste of your time to spend so much time trying to learn it when you could just put the LUT on it and make it look instant cinematic. So there you go, guys. There's my top 3 tips for making ultra cinematic looking images really, really fast. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously it was a little bit of a joke. You knew that. Actually, maybe some of you might not realize that. In fact, some people probably aren't even going to get to this point in the video, and probably somebody will think that I'm being serious. We'll find out in the comments down below. But anyway, as filmmakers, we all know that there's so much more that goes into getting the cinematic look than the things that most people want to teach you are like the secret hacks or the tricks that are going to make your images look cinematic instantly. Cinematography is a lifelong thing that you could spend literally your entire life learning it and studying it and getting better and better and better at it. And I think that's what makes cinematography so interesting, is that it's not just you learn a couple things and then you're amazing. It's something that you can keep practicing and getting better at and deepening your craft and just becoming amazing at it. And so there's obviously a lot that goes into it outside of just getting a nice camera or putting LUTs on your images. When it comes to cinematography, there's things like composition, your camera settings, your lighting, your editing, and then even before all of that, there's the set design, there's the wardrobe, there's the story above all, that everything, all of that comes together in order to make a cinematic looking image. And so if you're a filmmaker who really wants to create work that is truly cinematic, and by the way, when I say cinematic, I don't mean just like shooting cinematic B-roll with your dog in your backyard. I'm talking about creating stuff that looks like a Hollywood movie. And that's whether you're shooting real estate videos or music videos or promos or weddings or whatever type of video that you're doing. If you can adapt that Hollywood look, that movie-like look into your work, it's going to create a more cinematic look that's going to make you stand apart as a filmmaker and help your work to get noticed. And so I personally believe that every filmmaker should be focused on learning how to get the Hollywood movie cinematic look in their images, no matter what type of video they shoot. So if you're a filmmaker or a cinematographer who wants to learn everything that goes into creating that look, I want to invite you to check out a free training that I have down below. It's 100% free, it's an hour long, and in it I share my top tips for creating cinematic looking images. Now, obviously I can't cover everything that there is to know in just an hour long video, but I do cover my very best tips. And if you watch it all the way through, you'll be able to learn some really deep knowledge about cinematography and where it comes from and how to create images that are really cinematic and that can get you high paying clients as a filmmaker. So I'll link that down in the description below, because there are things that you can do that will really quickly actually make a difference in your cinematography. Now, it's not going to take it all the way there, but there are a lot of things like lighting and composition and camera settings even that will change the look of your images in a way that can make them look more cinematic pretty quickly. So go ahead and take a look at the training down below. Hopefully you guys like it. And of course, at the end of the training, I do have an offer for you to join my online course called Cinema Mastery, where I teach you everything there is to know about cinematography. And if that's something that's interesting to you, you can definitely take a look at that. But regardless of whether you sign up for the full course or not, I hope you enjoy the free training that I've put together for you. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below, what was your favorite tip from this video in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions. We will see you guys on the next video.